We do feel that policy instruments also need to be put in place. Only then we can think of sustainability of water and energy issues. Uh, Water issues may become sustainable even with the water efficient technology, but energy sustainability is going to remain a very important issue uh, for the policymakers as well as I would say farmers and other stakeholders in the sense because still about 40% of the energy goes to the farming or agriculture sector in the Punjab state and we know it's completely subsidized. Uh, Constantly we are trying to devise some kind of instruments with the help of which that the energy sustainability is also attained. Professor Manu frequently speaks about the water credit or water credit issues in the sense that the person, a farmer saves water and consequently energy. Uh, that means we are saving, we are bringing savings to the government because of reduction in subsidies. So that way, an instrument can be devised where those reduction in subsidies could be distributed further between the state and the farmer, so that farmer is further encouraged to go for water savings and consequent energy savings. So the last leg of our project is to devise some kind of economic instrument which could encourage the farmers to go for water savings and power saving and then take that economic instrument to the policy level in the sense that we are planning to have deliberations with the government of Punjab that if you go for these kind of economic instruments it can help not only saving in water but can also bring savings in the energy which can be supplied to the industrial sector or to the residential sector and at the same time can lower down the burden of subsidies on the state exchequer. But as discussed earlier, under democratic setup, sometime because of the political compulsions of the various political parties, sometime I mean quick response in terms of acceptance of those economic instruments or policy instruments is difficult to come. But definitely our objective in this project is to keep nudging them, keep them pushing, so that at the end of the day we also come up with some kind of policy instrument before the government, which is economically as well as politically feasible to some extent to the government. That's the we are still trying to devise. I mean, we are many options are there. I mean, water credit is there. I mean, diverting some component of farm power to industrial sector and charging from industrial sector and sharing the flowing back those revenue from the industrial sector back to the farmers and some to the power utility. There are many options which are available. Or I mean, just motivating the government to go for the public procurement of some of the alternatives we are talking about. But that leg of the project probably we are going to start from this next financial or next calendar year maybe. We definitely, but it's on the agenda where we are planning to engage in policy dialogue with the government of Punjab. Because ultimately at the end of the day we do feel that the policy shall have to come into picture and play an important role. So that way, but the issue, the main issue is still policy. The policy, the power policy, and the water policy. It's a very big issue still. I mean, we are fighting basically. We are fighting against these policies basically, because since water is free, power is free, it completely. I mean, it completely throws the power and water issues out of the matrix of the farmer's decision making process. So that's why at the end he is not worried in that way. Then we shall have to keep him nudging that no, look, if you don't follow these things, probably after 10 years your next generation may have to face the consequences. So you should start worrying just now. And why don't you take up these technologies when you are not losing anything? Because that's why, because we That's why it's very difficult to implement any kind of technology which even reduces their income by, let's say, rupees 5 or $1 or $2. Nobody is interested to accept that. So that's why we are playing absolutely safe, that we are not taking up any technology which has got any kind of negative impact on the income. It may not improve there, but it shouldn't reduce the income of the farmer.
Do you think that by providing the technology, it makes it easier to encourage the policy side, because they can say, oh yes, look, you can reduce water.
Exactly. Probably because what we feel, next year probably we have, since we have we got the results of 500 farmers, we are going to talk to the policy. So basically, we have got 2-3 policy level forums, in the sense we have got farmers commission in the state, in which many of the things are channelized. Then we have got Department of Agriculture, which is controlled by the government of Punjab. So perhaps we may think of involving these two institutions in our experimentation this year, so that they also feel involved and they also take some of our burden on their shoulders, because because ultimately this project cannot be an unending process. And a project shall have to end maybe after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Ultimately, the farmers shall have to be at their own, or the state mechanism or state machinery shall have to come into play and take our place. So that's why their involvement is also very necessary. But now because last time we didn't have any results with it. We have got the research experiments result, but now we have got field results with knowledge.
Could you imagine the government paying for, since they subsidize electricity, why couldn't they buy tensiometers for the farmers?
Exactly, the same thing. We are planning.
This is what we are planning.
This is what we are planning, that the government should come and share at least 50% of the cost of the intervention with us.
Because it's in their own interest as well.
Exactly, it's in their own interest as well. So that's we are planning this way. Basically, we are planning a 3-way approach next year. That 1/3 is shared by us, our project. 1/3 is shared by the farmers, because he also feels some kind of involved, and 1/3 is taken up by the government of Punjab. This is our utopian kind of thing. So let's see whether we succeed.
And you see, the idea of even in the times when this power is not free, power is fully free, there is no incentive to save oil. The idea to move with these technologies to build reputation or build your existence actually. And adoption is also a slow process in the beginning. So it may be 500 in the first year and 10,000 in the next year. And with the involvement of the state machinery, we may go for 50,000, and then it becomes automatic, as has happened with laser leveling. So the idea is to move till that and leave the technology to its own data.
I feel quite optimistic for the Punjab state, despite the negative kind of policies which are in vogue in this, because to me it appears there is a scope. And farmers are sufficiently aware to take up these technologies, subject to the condition that their income is not impacted. This is the most important concern. So that's why we are talking about a very big number this time. That if we are able to demonstrate it at the 5,000 scale, probably we feel that it would be automatically taken up later on, because probably then we'll cross the takeoff stage. Because to us it appears it's going to be the takeoff. Then we will be airborne. So to us it appears to be the takeoff stage.
And if you look at the Punjab farmers, they have always been the earliest adopters of anything. So we are very confident that with these technologies, they will also demonstrate the same vigor, and this is quite possible. That I personally believe this may not come out of some scientific kind of feeling, but my internal feeling is, while moving with the farmers, while dealing with the farmers, that definitely Punjab farmers have the capacity to raise the same kind of cropping system with around 30 to 50% of less water. I believe it, and I believe that in the next 5 years they will demonstrate. Then they can produce the same level of food grain production with 40 to 50% less water, and that will be the way forward for the other states to go.
Because I mean, their economic issues also associated, no doubt. So far as their, I mean, working cost is concerned, since power is free, so it doesn't bother the farmer. But farmers have also started feeling some kind of pinch when they have to deepen their wells regularly, because especially these small farmers, because I have seen many situations where farmers have to take very heavy loans to deepen their wells or to convert their pump sets from relatively shallow pumps to deeper pumps. So I mean, and I have seen many situations they are unable to repay the loans back, just falling in the debt trap. So I mean, even if we take that, we know that about 30 to 35% are the smallholders. So that means at least it's going to hurt them very badly if they don't follow the water saving technologies. But no doubt it's because ultimately aquifer is interconnected. So I mean, it has to be taken up at the collective level rather than individual level. But anyhow, to us it appears it's going to work.